Oh, baby.
Go, gadget methadone dispenser.
I put gin on top of my gin.
And I already shade with discomfort in all of my holes.
The collection of short stories by Judy
Bloom. You ever smell the inside of a hat?
I liked it. It smelled like you.
Craigslist for hookers.
Craigslist?
No, but worse than that.
Zig and Larry ignore a topic. The best parts of hanging out with these guys. Without the hangover.
Here we go.
Hey, welcome to Zig and Larry Ignore a Topic, where I just discovered that I probably couldn't take 3 of Larry's fingers inside of it.
Well, we haven't tried, and with enough gumption, anything can be.
I didn't just discover it. I mean, who are we lying to? Outside of a decent amount of Poland, probably.
So if you're seeing this on a video, clearly we're wearing the same clothing. And I'm clearly drinking the same goddamn drink that I've been drinking for an hour.
I'm pretty pleased with myself. I'm doing 2 episodes back to back without pounding whiskey. I'm strictly sticking to beer for this. Because I'm the degenerate who's like, I only drank 6 beers in 2 hours, which doesn't mean anything really to me.
No.
I mean, I'd still drive the bus of those kids to school as long as, there are other people's kids.
Exactly. Yeah, you're not hurting anybody. You're just
Drivers,
you want my hands to stop shaking, don't you?
bus driver's the only one with a fucking seatbelt, kids. Everybody else bounces around in this bitch.
So hey, I didn't tell you. By the time this episode comes out, it'll be 2 weeks ago, I got to do a little headlining gig at one of the local clubs.
Really?
Yeah.
Very cool. Help me out, though. What was like 10% capacity, or like what?
Yeah, it was whatever the what I like about doing stuff at clubs and venues that book me is I don't have to worry about it. They take care of all of the math. I just show up and tell jokes.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I got to do that, and the second night took Willow and Gideon, so they get to see the old man headline a show, and that was fun.
You took your kids to a bar?
No, it's a comedy club.
It's a bar.
It's a comedy club.
I'm breaking your balls, man. I don't know. But I just...
No, I mean, I grew up in bars. They'll be fine.
No, I'm just realizing that, yeah, why couldn't kids go to a fucking comedy club?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never made them. I've never had them.
Yeah.
I've never changed a diaper. I'm 42.
They can't go to a bar, but when it comes to a comedy club, they can go as long as the parents are cool. And
they can't go to a bar. They can go to a comedy club. They shouldn't go to a magic show. And circuses,
right out.
Right out.
Ventriloquism, that's grounds for child abuse.
Grounds for divorce, anyway.
I will tell you, the Friday night show, very small crowd. Saturday night, decent. I mean, obviously at partial capacity.
So, yeah, you can't have them full, yeah.
But the Saturday night crowd, it was all spaced and safe, but it was like every table that could be filled within the parameters of the law, they had filled. It was awesome.
That's
Friday
awesome.
night, small crowd. And right up front were 4 of the weirdest people that could ever have come into a comedy club. They hated everything.
Oh!
When the owner, who's also a comic, who is the host, went up, he was like, he had given the cell phone talk, and this woman is still out, got her cell phone out, and he's like, what, do we need to wait for you? She's like, oh, I'm just finishing up a game. And he was like,
What the fuck?
Okay. And she's like, no, I just gotta finish this. And he's like, none of us knew what to do. The guys opening for me, and I, and the owner were like, we're just playing to each other. But Chris came up to me and he's like, I know I got you on the books for like 45 to 55 minutes. if you want to cut it to like 25 or 30, completely, I was like, you got it. But I do this joke about when the dude broke into my house in Decatur, and I was asleep naked, and part of the joke is I'll be like, I was buck naked, don't picture it. Or do, I don't know what you're, because it's a play, it's like, haha, I said this, and one of the women, these 50-some-year-old women, there was 2 dudes, two ladies, one of them went, ew, out loud.
Was she the same woman from last week that weighed you at the doctor's office and went, oof?
I'm pretty sure, but I looked at her, I was like, ew? Fucking, what do you mean, ew? I was like, I'm not that hideous. And she was just, I was like, and you don't get to say ew because you look like a reject from Mama's family.
These are the same kind of people that buy like a succulent online and have the kind of time to write a 5-page review on it and give it 3.5 stars.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Shut up.
But what was great, so one of the other, my buddy Nick, who was opening, his girlfriend was there, because Nick's blind, he can't drive, so she drove him up, and she was like, you'd be lucky to have somebody that looks like that on top of you.
Double brilliant.
Get her! And it was great, but yeah, that Saturday show, man, it felt good to get out and because Chris had come up and he's like, I know, I told you. He's like, I don't care if you go long. He's like, this is a hot crowd. He said, if you start losing them, it's time to button it up. If you've got them and you're having fun, he's like, fuck it, go as long as you want. As long as he's like, you know that feeling.
You can feel the room.
And I was like,
if you can't, you shouldn't be up there.
But I went up and I had forgotten my watch. And so Willow had her Fitbit. And so I'm wearing this bright purple Fitbit while I'm up on stage.
Spectacular. And how does something that fits on Willow's wrist fit on yours as well?
Oh, it barely did.
I would say it's one size fits.
She had it on the very last notch, and she had to have Gideon hold one side as she pulled it tight and latched it. And then by the end of when I came off stage, I looked at it, I was like, take it off, because my left hand was like purple and throbbing at that point.
Bobbed like a fucking Doberman's tail.
Why does it feel like this? And I will tell you, this is the first time this has ever happened to me on stage. This Saturday show. I'm up there, I'm having a good time, but I start feeling like something's weird. And I'm like, I can't figure out what is going on, but I'm playing around, I'm having a good time, but I'm like, what is happening back in the back 40, if you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Turned out, my jeans, because I had my belt on and everything, were staying up, but somehow I had moved just right, and my underpants had slid off of my ass, and the elastic waistband was nestled right on the crease of my butt cheeks. I don't know how it happened. I can't explain it. But I had to do half a show because I was like, how do I fix this? And I was like, you don't. I did half a show with my underwear in the wrong spot.
You either deal with it or you just be 100% honest. There's no...
I almost said to them...
Depends on how annoying it is. You might have to just, if you're going to fix it, you have to bring it up. You're not going to gloss past that if you expect them to listen to you.
But there was no way I was going to stick my hand down the back of my pants and be like, no, really, it's just my underpants.
I don't know if I would have the mental bandwidth to be able to like go through scripted material at the same time. At the back of my brain, go, now what do I say to when I yank the hand out of the crack of my head? Oh God, how do I hold it? Let's talk about watermelons. Like whatever the fuck it is, like, I would just screw it up.
So I left it alone, and just as soon as I came off stage, I ran past. Not ran, but I went put my mask back on, went through the room to the restrooms, went into a stall, and just was like, I gotta fix myself.
Was this in Springfield?
No, Mason City, Illinois.
It's just gotta be. I mean, that's awesome, man. That you had people. Not only that you got people out there, but like, just as somebody lived through this last year, you don't know if you can go. You don't know if you want to go, regardless. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know if you're going to feel safe about it. But the fact that you had, are they open? Yeah. Can we go? Yeah. Do I feel comfortable going? And there was enough people who checked off all the boxes that was like, you got to do a show again. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it was, like I said, everyone was wearing masks if they're at their table. Everyone was appropriately spaced, and so I felt like I have been very cautious and I've been overly cautious. But when I was like, I know this club. 2, I know the owner. I know he wants to stay open, so he's not going to do anything stupid.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anybody did anything wrong.
Oh, sure.
There's
no.
all those factors against getting an audience.
Yeah. Oh, right. And well, that was the thing is I was like, man, I hope the audience and everyone that was being seated came in with their masks on. Mm-hmm. They'd sit there with their masks. They'd take it off to take a drink, put their mask back on. And some people, like you can, when you're sitting at your table, they took their masks off, which is, that's fine. You can do that. But yeah, it's all this shit that I have to weigh out in my head. And then, like I said, I asked Willow and Gideon, I'm like, do you feel comfortable going? Do you want to go? And I'd already asked, Chris, I was like, you cool? And he's like, yeah, they're well old enough to come to a show. And he goes, and they're your kids. They know how you talk. There's nothing you're going to say that we're going to have to be like, oh, there's children in the audience. He's like, because they, Willow's 16, Gideon's almost 15, and he's man-sized now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but yeah, it was really cool for them to get to see me do what I do.
That's very cool, man.
And
I'm gonna have to ask Gideon to tell me what it feels like to be man-sized. I never got there.
Yeah, the asshole's taller than me, but like, he's taller than me, but about this big around. I mean, he's like this. He's a beanpole. Mm-hmm. So I know he takes after his mom's side of the family with that, but man, I'm like, well, how is it? And his hair is like super long now. It's like shoulder length, and he's got all this beautiful blonde hair. And I'm just like, what's it like to be pretty? I've never known. I just want to know what it's like.
Like a pussy smashing Ichabod Crane, that kid.
Yeah, right? Just.
I really didn't want to say that phrase out loud, but I knew I couldn't sleep tonight if I didn't.
I'm glad that you did. I've never felt so good about anything ever. By the way, I want to throw a phrase that I came up with. I keep my stuff up here on the whiteboard to remember. A phrase I came up with, use it however you want, but the phrase is grumpy little piss bear.
Aw, that's nice.
Yeah.
It sounds like that you come with like a little bag from the truck stop, like with 35 of them. Like Haribo's grumpy little piss bears.
Yeah, well, and in my head, I was thinking of like a Care Bear,
Okay.
But what came out was grumpy little piss bear, and I was like, I want everyone to use that. I don't know in what context, but my God, look at this grumpy little piss bear.
Oh God, now I'm just remembering all of our like old catchphrases. Meat catchers, bag of piss chicken. If this is your first episode of Zig and Larry, you should have picked a better one. Like, ask somebody. This is not the one to jump on.
I don't know. I feel like this is going to be. I think we're gonna have some good stuff. Oh, some more news for you.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't downplaying.
No. I know. No, hey, Daddy loves you.
Somebody does.
Yeah. So a buddy of mine is part of a web. It's a web series called Minimum Wage. It takes place in a coffee shop. Well, they're doing an episode of, like, it's a talent show.
Okay.
And my buddy Robbie, who is...
I know Robbie, right?
Yeah. He was our MC. Robbie is great. Robbie's he is a magician, stand-up comic. He's a clown. And also, now he's teaching himself how to fire eat. I mean, he's a carny, is what he is.
Okay.
And he's a proud carny, and he should be, because he's really good at it. But he just texts me, he's like, hey, can you roll a pan? And I was like, I have no idea what the fuck you're asking me. What do you...
Like the strongman shit?
Yes. But he sends me a video of dude just taking a pan and being like, grink? And he's like, can you do that? And I was like, I don't know. Thanks. And
Oddly enough, it's never come up before.
What's funny is Nicole was like, oh yeah, you've done it before. I was like, when? She goes, you got real drunk and got angry at one of our pans because it wasn't heating up right or something, and you just bent it. And I was like, oh. So I should text Robbie and tell him. She goes, yeah, you'll be fine. You can roll a pan. So they're doing an episode about this talent show, and I guess I'm just supposed to show up just being like some type of like quiet Russian. Speak in thick accent and roll pen. Apparently that's all I'm supposed to be doing.
Do me a favor. Don't practice. However you do take one, that's what they have to use. And claim that you're brilliant at it. Claim that, yeah, man, I just went through like three, 4 pans before I got here. I roll pans all the time. What do you want, stainless steel? I can't do cast iron, but, stainless steel, sure, yeah, no problem. I roll a pan. What do you got? You got a pan?
Yeah, and there's specific, like, I've Googled it. I'm like, is there specific, and there's a specific kinds of pans that people use because it's easier.
I would say anything that comes from the dollar store is probably what you're going for.
Yeah, but yeah, apparently I'm doing this. I do have to practice because I do have to make sure that I can do this. But Nicole's like, you're gonna be fine. She's like, we'll just get you a few shots of whiskey in you, and then piss you off. We'll tell you something about social injustice or something stupid that we saw on the internet, and you'll be like, grrr!
Play the Rush Limbaugh homosexual dead song. He fucking roll a pan.
he rang the pan out like it was a fucking dishcloth.
Nobody ever asked me to destroy kitchen implements. It's never come up. Zig, can you roll a pan? I don't know. Nobody's ever asked me to, nor have I thought to try. I also don't know if I can fit the entire Coke can up my ass, but I'm pretty sure.
Well, I don't think I can take 3 of Larry's fingers, and I don't want to find out.
Not again. Not after Boulder, Colorado.
I do have fond memories.
The air's so thin up there, anything's possible.
No, you just relax and let it happen.
Absolutely, you're constantly mildly high because there's no oxygen.
Why do you think I suggested 3 fingers?
Because 4 would just been I'd pass out.
I want to tell a story, but I'm not sure that I should.
You can't start it like that and not. What kind of un-American bullshit is that?
So, I will say, not my wife, not Nicole, and not my ex-wife, but there was a girl one time that demanded that we see how many of these could go inside of there.
Define demanded.
Demanded.
Like she had on the thigh-high boots, was holding the riding crop and went, God damn it, I have an idea in a German accent? Demanded?
Pretty much, yeah.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's demanding.
Yeah, you remember the girl I dated twice, right?
Mewa?
No. That was the girl that I was so stupid that when I went up to visit her in Chicago, she was like, look, I just want you to know I'm not sure that I can be exclusive with you, and I know that, and I was like, that's okay, and she's like, no, honey, you don't understand, I'm breaking up with you, and I was like, I'm dumb, why did I waste my time coming up here, I'm stupid, but she was very kind enough to be like, well, do you want to have sex in the backseat of your car before you go, and I was like, I have dignity and respect, and absolutely I do.
she dumped you and then offered to bang you in the backseat of the car first.
Yeah, she's very kind.
It's not a fucking muffin. It's not like, you want some beef jerky for the road? Maybe a Diet Mountain Dew. No, what the fuck is that? Like, I'm sorry, we can't be together anymore. One more jump in the poon wagon? Sure.
Absolutely. Yep.
I mean,
dig through the ditches and burn through the witches and jump in my smashula.
Don't do fucking Rob Zombie when you got me. I'm trying to think, like, I just got dump smash. There's smash then dump. That's happened to me before, but I've never been dumped and then offered a backseat bang.
It was like a parting gift.
Yeah, but like, would you like? Depends on your emotional state. Do you jump in the back seat and cry through it? Do you jump in the back seat?
Are you not supposed to cry through it?
Almost never. It depends on your own kink. Are you supposed to jump in the back seat? And if you're not going to cry, just get out all the aggression? Do you put on the seatbelts and just go to town and just start screaming the shit you wish you could have said when you were dating? Just wait till she's...
You're 2 for 2 on that one. That's what it was. It was...
Wait till she's halfway home and she's not going to stop before you start insulting her parents and her choice of perfumes and the fact that her pets are fucking spoiled and awful and that her hair always smells like patchouli but in the weirdest way.
Yeah.
Just shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't cry through it, but I did cry afterward, if that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, you would.
But no, there was a one...
Oh, yeah, who'd you fist? So...
I don't know. It wasn't a full...
Upper pussy. That's another callback to months ago.
A punch in the upper pussy. Give it an old punch in the upper pussy.
We'll get some bag full of piss chicken, punch in the upper pussy. Rosalie's writing all this down, and Carla's doing a dance.
Thank you, Carla. That'll be enough. Mm-hmm. Take the rest of the weekend off.
That will be quite enough, Carla. We're going to need to Swiffer that.
Please put that frock back on. No, but get your tits off the floor and put the frock back on. You need to take the rest of the day off. She's drunk again.
That's why I quit working in the nursing home. I got sick of fucking saying shit like that.
I think I spit on myself. No, there was just I don't know if am I supposed to say her name? I don't know if I should say her name.
I'm not gonna. Yes, my opinion is yes.
You remember Allison?
I do.
Yeah. Yep. That was all.
Yeah, that tracks. I guess.
Yeah.
So. God, can't make jokes anymore.
Yeah. Anyway, I was Zig has the floor. I don't want it. I'll take the floor back.
You have to say something before you drop the mic. I don't have to do shit for you.
Not since the last time.
Don't have to fucking do.
Not after all those shots. I don't.
No. I purposely, just so I wouldn't be too wrecked for this podcast, I drank all the whiskey yesterday.
Oh, I worked my way through a bottle of gin last night.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, we,
What was that voice? Good for you, son. Good for you.
Well, look at you. No rickets of scurvy for you. Yeah, our viewing last night. So, I was, like I said, I was doing a podcast with my buddy Steve. And we were talking about the movie Split.
McAvoy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
good flick.
Yeah, so I hadn't seen it in forever, so I needed to rewatch it. So we watched that, finished that. Then Nicole was like, there's this documentary about OnlyFans. I'm really interested. Do you want to watch it? I was like, absolutely. So we watched Split, then a documentary about OnlyFans, and then decided that we needed a palate cleanser and watched 2 episodes of The Muppet Show.
With Waldorf and Statler up in the fucking mezzanine being assholes.
Yeah.
Hold on. A documentary of OnlyFans. What was the lens shot through? Like exploitation or empowerment? Because it can go either way.
It was more empowerment. It was more just it was informative and talking about I can't remember Bella Thorne, and by that they were like this person really ruined it for small independent creators.
This whole fucking episode, my nose has been running. It's driving me up the fucking wall. I just realized I'm doing one of those.
Yeah,
Sorry.
You need to get a hold of buycleanurine.com, apparently.
We're talking about fucking porno, and I'm sitting here wiping my nose. It's not. God, it's a bitch getting old.
Well,
Jesus Christ.
What's funny is we're watching this documentary, and we were pausing it to just talk about stuff, but like when the first time.
Pause it. This would be a good part for discussion. Shall we give it 15 minutes? Throw over the fucking hourglass.
Well, I was trying to be nice. What it really boiled down to is we were pausing so we could go make more cocktails.
That's better.
Okay. But there was one point where we paused this and we look at each other because we saw, like, this person, and it was someone who, look, everyone has their own taste, and I'm not shaming anybody, but I did not find this person attractive. But I saw how much money this person was making a month, and I looked at Nicole, and she looked at me, and I was like, I feel like maybe we should have been fucking on camera from the very beginning. Because if there's a market for this person, there's a market for what is here, what's going on here. And definitely, we all know what my wife looks like. And so, I hate that we almost, like, I'm not in as bad a shape as a lot of sitcom husbands, but we really do look like the sitcom husband and wife where it's
she's gorgeous, and then you're the idiot who should be really, really happy that she, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that she is nearsighted and has a drinking problem. Absolutely.
No, but you're not wrong. I'm not attacking your relationship. I'm just attacking that's how they cast every
Oh, for sure.
sitcom.
Oh, for sure. And it's so often how I feel when I just look at her. But I was like, I think, and she was like, yeah, we should have just been banging on camera. We could have put the kids through college, paid off the house, bought a couple new cars, and then put some aside for a rainy day. But at this point, with what these people are making.
You put enough zeros on it, I'll defile myself with some fucking parsnips on a camera. I don't give a shit.
You put enough zeros on it, 4 of these are going in you.
For those of you who are not watching, he didn't hold up his hand. Use your imagination. But he has 4 of them at the ready.
Yeah. I keep them in a bucket.
And he carries the bucket with him everywhere. It goes in the back of the Prius, right next to the fucking sledgehammer.
Well, you never know when you're going to need 4 of those in a bucket and a sledgehammer. How do you think I'm going to get 4 of those inside you?
Lube. Hey, does lube expire?
I don't know. I've never...
It couldn't, right?
Look, I've never really needed it.
No, but just sometimes for what you do, you need it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I don't know. I don't think so. I think that's a judgment call the minute it comes out of the tube.
It's just petroleum, really.
You just have to... If you feel it and you're like, that didn't feel right, then you try something else. Like,
well,
Comet.
The problem is that when you put the little Comet... Jesus Christ. when you put the little straw into the WD-40...
Uh-huh.
You can really get that shit off the ceiling if you need.
Yeah, you really can. Trust me, that's what I like to use. I like just, is it supposed to move and it doesn't? Hit it with some WD-40.
That's what you miss when you own a home. When you have a rental, you're not opposed to throwing shit on the ceiling. I can ignore that to the end of the lease. Yeah, absolutely.
You've been in the danger dungeon. You know I don't hesitate to throw anything anywhere. So
half the time.
You want to know what today's topic is?
Yeah, absolutely. ZigandLarryIgnorePresidentialPets@gmail.com. Check us out on YouTube.
Or don't. So, I saw a news story. So, I want to put news in air quotes here. There it was. Oh, that's for Daddy.
Professional we are.
So so you remember when you would look at Fox News
No.
and you'd be like, how can it get any worse and more biased?
Okay.
I bring you Newsmax. Newsmax is it's one of the only news sources that I think once Fox News even said, hey, Donald Trump, you're batshit. And he was like, bah, Fox News is ridiculous and you should never watch Fox News. Then came like, I can't remember the other source, like Oh Shitsbirds and Newsmax. And they were running a story about Joe Biden's new dog. You know, because he adopted a dog from a shelter. It's a shepherd mix.
Didn't he have a couple of dogs?
He did, but they wanted one more. And so...
How does Trump not have a dog? How do you go through a president and not have a dog? Anyway, never mind.
Well, you saw how Bald Eagle responded to him. You know dogs hate him too.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
Okay, so
anyway, so you know,
Biden got another dog, whatever.
so Joe and Mrs. Biden, she seems like a right-on gal. I'm just going to put it out there. She seems pretty cool.
I know very little about her, but I have nothing.
Jill seems right on. But anyway, they adopted this shepherd mix from a shelter.
Okay.
Newsmax throws a picture of this dog on screen. Obviously, it's got like a sepia tone filter.
Okay.
And they're like, look at this dog. This dog doesn't look like a presidential dog. You know, I remember like Millie and Tippy from the Bush era and even the Clinton era. They had these, and Obama's dog. They were essentially pure breeds, and oh yeah, and they were clean and this dog looks dirty and mangy.
What?
Right? They are, and then they bring on these two assholes that are White House pet historians who are...
That sounds like the fucking Philadelphia commercials with the cream cheese sommelier. It just sounds like such a bullshit thing.
It is bullshit. But and now they're shitting on this poor dog. And I'm like, this dog is beautiful. And he's well cared for and on and on. But they're being stupid. Essentially, right now, this poor little shepherd mix that is a handsome boy. If he listens to the show, I love you, buddy. But he's, they put a sepia tone filter to make him look mangy. But it got me to thinking. I wanted to talk about presidential pets.
Okay.
So, throughout the years...
Well, here's the thing. For that poor dog, if he's getting shamed, good news is, he's a dog. He don't give a fuck.
He really...
He can't be canceled. He does not care.
I've got a handful of presidential pets that I want to talk about, okay?
Have they all been dogs?
No.
I mean, I don't know.
No. Oh no, not in the olden days.
Before we get into it, can we go to commercial?
Oh yeah, let's and now a word from our sponsor.
Action awesome, please. You just do anything? No, sorry, cut. You're rolling. 1 2, take 2. The French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. There is a California champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence. It's fermented in the bottle, and like the best French champagne, it's vintage dated. So Paul Masson. 1 2, take 3. Action, please. The French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. There is a California champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence. It's fermented in the bottle, and like the best French champagne, it's vintage dated. So Paul Masson.
This episode of Zig and Larry Ignore Topic is brought to you by What Killed Orson Welles. my God. I hope you were able to get through that first few seconds of horrible static because, once you get into it, Orson is on his tits. Oh, my. Ah!
Oh, Parmesan!
When your heartbeat feels like you're squeezing something through a tube.
When your heartbeat feels like you're taking 4 of these.
When your pacemaker is fueled by uranium.
Parmesan.
Parmesan.
Does your heartbeat sound like bacon sizzling?
That's the same noise that a Rottweiler makes when you step on his dick. Dog up that way.
Bottled with the same French excellence. Oh,
The fun is champagne. Oh, doesn't he do anything?
Doesn't do anything.
Oh. We're gonna have to figure out a better way to get into commercial breaks, and we have to take buy your own urine clean.com. But but it's worth it when you get.
I hurt.
Presidential pets, you were saying?
Okay, well I know. Okay, so we're gonna start with as you said, haven't they all been dogs?
I thought so.
Now they haven't all been dogs, but here's one that was a dog that I want to point out. John Adams.
Okay.
The second president of the United States, had a dog named Satan. There you go.
Played by Paul Giamatti.
Yes.
No, John Adams wasn't he?
Yeah, John Adams was played by Paul Giamatti, but I'm also pretty sure that Paul Giamatti played the dog named Satan.
He had a dog named Satan?
Yeah. Yep.
See, that's what you have to tell me about somebody before I'm like, I want to party with that rock star.
Yeah.
Like, I hear that, and I don't run for the hills. I run towards the flames.
He had a collection of creatively named pets. Among them were a pair of mongrel dogs named Juno and Satan.
Juno and Satan.
Nobody knows why.
In the history of dogs, like, do you ever have any that like were named like weird shit, or like have your dog names always been like kind of like? Because your current dog's name is Zoe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is, I don't know if that's it's not unheard of. You know what I mean? It's not like you didn't name it Pol Pot. You know what I mean? Like,
for good reason. If it was a Shih Tzu, it definitely would have been Pol Pot.
Because in the history of my dog, you can definitely tell when my mom stopped naming them and when my brother and I started. Because it was Susie, Sammy, Buffy, Fluffy, Dude, Head, Mongo. So there's a definite middle name. Dude's middle name was Whitney, by the way, just to get that in there. And then after that it was Chance, Splat, Fizbin, and now we have Captain Kawadi Gomez, leaderish of the free world, kind of. Is his full title. His full name title.
Yeah, we got Zoe because she was named after Zoe Washburn from Firefly.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, because we were like, all right, we're getting a female dog, and we need to have a good, strong female name for her. And Zoe is one of my favorite characters. Love that character. We had Hunter.
Right.
I had. She was a shelter dog that we rescued. That her full name was Madison. Just called her Maddie. She was a little black lab mix, and and she answered to Maddie. I was like, "You look like a Maddie. We don't need to change it." And Oscar had old Oscar.
Oscar, I like a lot.
Yeah,
that's a good dog name.
Before that, growing up, I had the pit bull that was named Sheba.
Okay.
And we had she was a Doberman lab mix who was Lady. That was her name. And then we had an Akita, and you know how how big Akitas are?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his name was Bull.
Okay.
And then we had a Catahoula, who was kind of a spotted brindle caramel color. So his name was Snickers. My sister named him.
Catahoulas, those dogs are famously homophobic, right?
Yes, yeah, super. No, except I have no idea. I feel like I just want to go along with that, but you know,
Based on nothing,
Yeah.
about nothing.
But yeah, Zoe's part Catahoula, which is why she doesn't let any of our gay friends come in the house. It's really sad. It's a sad thing, but
That dog backs into me every time I'm at your house.
yeah.
She just presents and backs into me. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
I guess this is what we're doing now. Okay, this is what we're doing. But
He smells my dog. No, he smells Larry's dog's pussy because it's all over my fucking thighs.
sorry. That wasn't. We didn't even train her for that trick. She was just. That's just what she does.
Is Larry's dog in heat? No, but around me it's constantly in moist.
It's constantly in a state of oh boy.
Here he comes.
So here's where we
So
start.
Satan. Yeah,
Satan.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. But here's where we start getting fun. Here's where we start getting some. Now, I mean, some of these, but I'm waiting to finish on the best one. Just like I said at the orgy.
This is waiting to finish on the best one. Who's the best one? I don't know. We haven't done the raffle yet. But here's the thing. Hold on. Adams had a dog named Juno. This is going to make me seem real stupid. Alaska wasn't a state yet. Did Juneau the city exist yet?
Well,
and if
Juno
not, is Juno is it like a Greek god or something?
Yeah,
Like
I think Juno was a
mythology?
Roman god.
Is it a Roman god? Okay. Something from mythology? Okay.
Yeah, and somebody's probably screaming at their phone right now, no, it was this! And if that's the case, email us and tell us how wrong we are at ZigandLarryIgnorePresidentialPets
At gmail.com.
at gmail.com. This episode brought to you by Gmail. Gmail. Do you need to hit the spot?
I have personally responded to every single one that we've gotten on there, and I will keep responding to every single one that we get on there until it becomes too ridiculous. But if you do, as of right now, I can promise you that I will respond.
Excellent. So John Quincy. Now we're talking about not John Adams. John
It's his kid.
Quincy Adams, the 6th president of the United States. So during an 1825 tour of the United States, French Revolutionary hero, the Marquis de Lafayette, visited the White House.
Okay.
This Frenchie brought John Quincy Adams a pet as a gift. He brought him an alligator.
Wait. Hold on. Ain't no gators in France.
Well, I'm sure that he was down in New Orleans.
Okay.
Because this is around 1825. New Orleans has been around since then.
Right.
And so I'm sure when they were down there, he was probably like, oh, give me one of them little lizards. And then put it in some manner of pouch or sack.
Was it a baby, do we know, or was it full grown? Did he go, that thing's cute, I don't know what it is? Or did he go, give me that dangerous prick, I'm going to give it to the leader of the brand new country?
I'm honestly thinking it was probably about halfway grown, because here's where it gets good. Adams decided, because at the time, the East Room of the White House wasn't finished, so it was this unfinished area.
Okay.
But it's had its own bathtub. And so John Quincy Adams went, hey, Jenkins, throw this piece of shit in the bathtub.
We're not done with the drywall, sir. Fuck it, throw it in there, it needs to stay moist.
Bring it some bourbon, I don't know. What does it drink? It drinks daiquiris out of a Pat O'Brien's glass.
That fancy French prick who knows how to fight gave it to me, and goddamn it, I'm going to keep it wet.
And other poems. by Maya Angelou.
Chandelier around it. Don't fall in.
But apparently, when people would come to tour the White House with him, John Quincy Adams would be like, and here's the East Wing. We're not quite done with it, but here, we're going to have an indoor bathroom with a tub. And he would just lead them in, and then that motherfucker would just pop its head up and be like, ah, and they would just freak the fuck out.
That's awesome. We're not quite done with this yet. Everything is lit with fire because electricity's not a thing. Also, there's a fucking dinosaur in the indoor tubs. Is that what you do with them? Yes, you don't wash. That's where you keep your man-eating monster.
Well, and this is why no one fucked with America for the longest time, because they were like, they keep monsters in the bathtub.
Yeah, the premiere of Booty Stand or whatever shows up. It's like, hey, what do you do? Don't put your hands on the appliances. Anything porcelain has a monster in it.
they keep fire-breathing dragons in their shitters. Let's move on. You know what? Let's go fuck with Canada. Nothing can live up there.
Do you still need to piss? No, get the fuck out of my house and sign this meeting.
We will be taking your bananas. Captain Snappy says so.
That's how you get the fucking President of Honduras on board. You threaten him to fucking get eaten with a reptile. Jesus Christ. Monsters inside!
Speaking of monsters...
Woo.
Andrew Jackson.
Who you can't read a story about and not go, wow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's exactly, every time you read something about Andrew Jackson, you go, woof. You turn into a Russian nurse weighing me on a livestock scale.
On a livestock scale. On something that's actually digital. What was the name? One of his many duels, they did the 10 paces turn and fire. I forget the guy who was shooting at this time, but he turned around and just stood there, letting the guy take his shot because he knew that afterwards he had to stand there and take it. He took a bullet to the fucking chest, cracked 2 ribs, went, and then raised his gun, fired it, misfire because it got half cocked. Cocked it again, threw the fucker away, and then lived with the bullet in his chest for the next 40 years. That's Andrew Jackson.
Now, we all know Andrew Jackson was a racist piece of shit. We all know this. But you gotta respect a man who's like, go ahead and shoot me. I'm sorry, Mr. President. I'm sorry, Mr. President. What did you say? Put a round in me. I don't have all day.
Shoot me, you pussy.
Adams left a fucking dinosaur in the shitter, and I gotta go deal with that.
Live a long time, and I'm not getting it out.
Jenkins, do something with this.
It's impossible to finish the room. That bathroom still has never been done. It's just tile. It's just piled up in the corner. Nobody, you can't pay a man enough to get in there and fucking grout.
I guarantee you, if you went to Home Depot and picked up 5 of those guys standing in front looking for day work, those motherfuckers would hit that cocksucker in the head twice, make some boots while the other ones were finishing some tiling.
And be smart enough to get $50 more man out of you because of the effort.
Exactly. But
what did Jackson have?
Oh, Andrew, and here's the thing: it is legit possible that fucking gator was still living in that bathroom because John Quincy Adams was the 6th president, and Andrew Jackson was the 7th president.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That gator was still alive, unless you just. But back in the day, there was no such thing as PETA. You get sick of the fucking monster that's in your tub, you shoot it, and you throw it in the backyard. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah. How do you think they fertilized the rose gardens?
Dead gator.
Dead gator. So
I use it to scare dignitaries, and now I'm just curious what it tastes like. That's my life.
That's probably exactly what Jackson did. I bet that thing's good eating once you get past the shell. He probably challenged it to a fucking duel, too. No, put a gun in its hand. No.
Quit slapping everything with your gloves.
Look, man. I want it to be a fair fight. I'm a monster, but I'm also a gentleman.
Absolutely.
Put a gun in this dinosaur's mitts. Give him 2. Let's see what happens.
He's always wearing a 3-piece suit with tails, but he'll kill you quicker than shit.
So, Andrew Jackson, ex-soldier, born in a Tennessee log cabin, and known for his love of swearing. When he was elected president in 1830, he brought his one pet, which was, don't ask me where the fuck he got it, probably some French fancy boy also brought him one of these. It was a parrot he named Pole.
Pole?
Pole.
P-O-L-E?
P-O-L-L.
A pole?
Maybe Paul? Paul. Probably like short for Polly. Never mind. I'm stupid.
Okay. Either way.
Either way. But the bird picked up on some of the president's salty vocabulary.
Oh, the parrot fucking said the F word.
And at Jackson's funeral service, at the family residence, the bird started loudly shrieking swear words so offensive it had to be taken away. Now you have to promise me, if I go before you, you will bring a parrot that all it says is swear words and roast jokes about me.
I mean, obviously, but that's a tall order. I'm going to have to start now doing the fucking research.
I just want a parrot that's a fuck you, fat ass. That's what I want.
That should be one of the things we did from the last episode. Well, we should start a business. What is it? It's parrots that swear. And you rent one and we'll put it in your fucking mother-in-law's bathroom. As she walks in and it just goes, scrub your ass, you cunt. And, you know,
and for an extra $100, we'll throw a gator in the tub.
Absolutely. Don't go in the back of the van. There's a menagerie of wet market back there that you really don't want to be in.
There's a parrot that's so foul-mouthed, even it's coming. Hold on. Take 2. There's a parrot so foul-mouthed that even Richard Pryor would be like, calm the fuck down.
Yeah, it would have been worth it 30 seconds ago. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not. It's fine. But, yeah. I mean, this one's kind of cute. Martin Van Buren, Jackson's successor, so likely in the White House.
So, yeah, what was going on in, like, that couple of decades?
Because no one gave a shit about animals. Yeah, who gives a fuck? Throw them all in the East Wing. Just all of them. Let's see how this cursing parrot holds up against the giant gator growing in the tub. Martin Van Buren was gifted, wild beasts as a pet by a foreign dignitary. But this time it was 2 tiger cubs given to him by the Sultan of Oman.
See, that's the kind of shit that you see in, like, fucking, like, Game of Thrones. Like, where people just show up with their entourage, and they just, like, give you... Uh-oh. Oh, I thought you froze. You just didn't move for a good moment. It was amazing. It was amazingly still. You didn't even breathe. That was spectacular. I thought you froze and or died. And I was like, shit, I got to get this parrot. I have had no time to prepare.
Cursingparrots.com.
You just show up with your goddamn entourage, and there's a harem of women that they're all chained together, and that's cool. And there's just like a whole bunch of people. It's like, what are these? Slaves. Cool. Come on in. What did you bring me? Wild animals. Why? Because your problem now.
Because we spent multiple months on a boat with them, and we don't want to do it anymore.
I'd much rather have something to hang on the wall. If that's cool. Do you guys have paintings? Is that a thing you do? Or
nope.
You only give people items that eat your hands and shit on the floor. That's what we do?
Okay. Look at the size of the litter box. Jesus Christ. But apparently, he had to fight Congress because Congress was like, no, these tiger cubs were gifted to the United States. And Van Buren was like, go fuck yourself. The Sultan gave them to me. These here are my babies now.
Killed a Mike Tyson, where he's like, no, I'm keeping the fucking wild, illegal animals. And Congress is like, no, those are everybody's tigers.
Yeah. And Van Buren was like, no, motherfuckers, these are my babies. I'm going to take care of them. Eventually, Congress finally, because he was just going to keep them in the White House. Because in his mind, he's had them since babies. They're just going to be just fine. They'll be fine with their roommate, Scaly, down in the East Wing. And so, but
the
yeah.
fucking parrot with a half an unlit cigar hanging out, calling everybody's mom a cunt.
Look at these cunts. But yeah, but apparently Congress won, and they were removed from the White House eventually.
What legal precedent? And who were the lawyers in this case? I want to know. Van Buren versus the people and the I get to keep my kitties defense.
I get to keep my kitties. The state versus Van Buren. I get to keep this pussy.
This is so long ago. He'd be like, well, they are 7 now, so I tell you what, you can have them if you can come in unarmed by yourself and take them.
Good fucking luck.
I'm the president. I can declare war on whoever I want. Yes, but you can't have the kitties. Bullshit!
Bullshit, the kitties and I will go to war.
The Supreme Court obviously has nothing better to do.
So, let's see. This one's pretty tame. Woodrow Wilson.
But fucked an ostrich.
Moving on. Yes.
I knew that one. Everybody knows.
While the parrot watched and heckled the whole time.
He got himself stuck in an ostrich and the thing took off, and that's how he broke the land speed record for the time. Everybody knows the story.
Will?
Why did the ostrich cross the road? Because Wilson was fucking it. That's the old joke.
Honestly, that's much better than what it actually is. I'm moving on. If you want to know, fuck it.
It was a sugar glider. He invented the sugar glider.
So, Calvin Coolidge.
No, I do want to know. What was it?
Oh, he brought in a flock of sheep to trim the grass.
Okay. I mean,
It's not as good as the ostrich thing.
that's like when you give your wife a gift for Valentine's Day, but it's like, it's functional. You know what I mean? Like, here you go, honey. You've been asking for one of these. Not today, I wasn't. 6 weeks ago, I was. On Christmas. Oh, shit.
Well, fuck. I can't do anything right. I guess I'll just go sleep in the garage.
I didn't buy the insurance on the fucking flock of sheep.
Calvin Coolidge and First Lady Grace Coolidge had a menagerie of animals living with them during their time in the White House, including a donkey, a bobcat, and geese. But among the best loved was a raccoon called Rebecca. A raccoon called Rebecca sounds like a book by Judy Blume.
Raccoon called Rebecca. Is that how you pronounce that word? Do you say raccoon or do you say raccoon?
When you look like this, you have to be very careful how you say that word.
Understood.
So I try to say it in a fun way, raccoon. Like, I understand it's taco, but I like saying taco because it's fun.
Okay. There's very little chance for racism if you're just ordering tacos, though.
Not when you look like this.
Okay, all right, fair enough. You have to change your entire lexicon to, like, just inch around the conceivable racism.
Yes.
But to find they had the menagerie in the White House, like, they had to have a stable for the donkey, right? They didn't have the geese just, like, walking around the Oval Office.
You know what? They don't get into detail about that, but here's the best part about this, about Rebecca. The animal had been sent to the White House from Tennessee, wait for it, to be part of the first family's Thanksgiving meal.
Oh, hold on. Who's this, Coolidge?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just... Oh, God. I'm such an asshole. Give me a general year. When was Coolidge president? I might have to Google
27. 1927.
Uh-huh. So they sent a raccoon.
Tennessee.
Tennessee. The governor, or just the people of Appalachia, or just like one guy named Earl? Like who? Like the whole
it was
state
just
got together and voted on it.
It was just a guy named Dale. It was like, you know what they could use, and probably pinned a recipe to it.
So, but they weren't going to.
I'm guessing that Dale just gave it a bindle, and it just walked to the White House with a stick over its shoulder.
So they set the entire. Let's just say the entire state voted, and they went. You know what Coolidge would like for dinner on Thanksgiving? A fucking raccoon. They sent it there. Well, refrigeration carts. I don't know if they were a thing, but they sent it there alive enough. Now, who named it? Did they name it before it was dinner, or after, and they decided to keep it?
It was looks like Grace Coolidge, the first lady, took a liking to Rebecca and named her. So instead of dinner, she became a beloved, if mischievous, family pet.
I don't think you can have a raccoon as a pet, can you? Can you tame a raccoon?
Yes, but they tear shit up. Like, you really shouldn't have raccoons in the house, because even if you rescue the babies, they're ornery as cat shit.
What's mostly disturbing for me is that I completely trust your opinion on this, because I'm guessing it's based in fact.
Yeah.
So here's dinner. No, we're going to name it. We're going to let it run around. Hopefully during tours it doesn't shit all over everything and hurt people.
Oh no, it did. It shit all over everything and damaged the upholstery on antique furniture.
Rebecca the raccoon. Fuck it. Ate Martha Washington's favorite ottoman.
I could only assume that gator was still alive in the tub in the East Wing, and Rebecca would just ride it around the grounds like a steed. Kick me out, motherfuckers! Me and Scaly got work to do!
I'm one of the very few animals with thumbs. I'm going to use it to open up this Ming vase and shit in it.
Just with a parrot on her shoulder, just cursing the entire time.
And that is when they invented the gift shop at the White House.
Yes.
Just, will you buy Rebecca's Turs? Everybody will buy anything from the White House. Oh, well, just try them. This is Rebecca, the first raccoon. She was going to be dinner, you know. She still could be, if you ask me.
Real quick, this one's kind of boring, but John F. Kennedy brought a pony that they named Macaroni onto the White House grounds and had a little pony that just lived out there. I'm assuming John F. Kennedy fucked it too.
Yeah, I mean, just you try to get his dick out of a hole. I mean, come on. You do Marilyn Monroe and the horse?
Yeah. Okay. Now, real quick, I was going to bring up Teddy Roosevelt.
Okay.
Because he just had a menagerie of animals that he would just bring.
He would own, shoot, kill, eat, wear. He did a lot of shit with animals.
Yeah, he did. And he expected his kids to act like kids. And so whatever they want, if they wanted a bear, he would just go punch it in the nuts, put it on his shoulder, and be like, here's a bear. And the bear knew better than to fuck around. This is the kind of house that Teddy Kennedy, him too.
Different.
Teddy Roosevelt ran.
I don't know if Ted Kennedy's got the nuts for that. He's definitely got the rosy cheeks of a bourbon drinker, but yeah. I don't know if he's wrestling any fucking mares.
But here's the best one, Zig. This is the best one, and this is what we've been leading up to.
Okay.
I want to talk about Benjamin Harrison's pets. He had two.
Okay.
I'm going to give you their names, and I want you to guess what they are.
So we're just going right past Teddy, though. We're just saying Teddy owned...
Teddy had everything. They had everything. He let the boys, his sons, just bring snakes into the Oval Office and freak out the congressmen. He was just like, love animals, and my kids are great, and so fuck you. What are you going to do, fight me? Yeah.
Did you feed the swans to the panthers? Good. It's Easter, you know.
Well, that's probably why they finally got that gator out of the East Wing. Teddy just went in there and went, "Hey, put him up, you motherfucker."
How old is this gator? It takes Teddy to get him out of here.
Teddy walked in, took off his tiny spectacles, and the gator was like, "I'm out."
I was going to say, he punched an elderly alligator to death while wearing bifocals. The man was a badass.
Okay, so Benjamin Harrison's pets.
Okay. This will be the only thing I know about Benjamin Harrison, by the way, at the end of this.
Yes.
What did you learn will be one thing about Benjamin Harrison.
Here's the names, and I want you to guess what they are.
Gotcha.
Because these are the best names for pets ever.
Okay.
Mr. Reciprocity and Mr. Protection.
Okay, so there's a clue in there. The animals have to be male. Mr. Reciprocity and Mr. Protection.
Yes.
Can I ask for a hint? Are they the same animal?
They are.
Okay. Mr. Reciprocity and Mr. Protection would be... It's kind of jaunty to give him a Mr. I like, because my dog's name is Captain Kawadi, so you have to give him a surname, a title. You have to do something that, like CPT, like a Mr. Mr. Protection. I'm going to say that they were something that would freak out people. Wolverines.
No.
Ah!
Do you remember when I was talking about, how some people have an angel and a devil on each shoulder, and mine was Otis from Andy Griffith, and the other one was just a possum that had gotten into some fermented berries?
They're fucking possums.
They are fucking possums.
Mr. Reciprocity and Mr. Protection.
Yep.
Were these indoor possums?
They were indoor possums.
Possums suck out loud.
They had, I don't know where they came from. This is my D+ effort because Nicole actually did a presentation on this.
To you and you alone. It had nothing to do with schooling. She just did some homework and she wanted to show you.
So you remember the Drink Talk Learn I was telling you about at BuzzBomb? She won one. I think she's won twice, but she won one of them with the presentation on Mr. Reciprocity and Mr. Protection. But yes, Benjamin Harrison had two possums that he named Mr. Reciprocity and Mr. Protection because that was the let's see, protection and reciprocity are twin measures of Republican policy and go hand in hand. But that's why he named them that, which probably is what lets you know how he felt about that slogan.
What I don't understand is I'm going to own two possums, but I'm going to figure out a way to make it pretentious. So let's tell you what we named him and why.
But then he was eventually asked to remove these possums from the White House, and so he just gave them to his grandkids. Here, you deal with this now.
Here you go. They bite. Like, what the fuck? Those things are mean.
Actually, they can be quite sweet.
Not if you kick them.
Well,
I mean, that could be said for a lot of things.
yeah. I mean, I'm a real sweetheart until you kick me, and then I get a little bitey too.
I mean, I guess it's like the raccoon thing. Like, you could eat them. You could keep them. You probably shouldn't do either. There's better alternatives. You know what I mean? Have a nugget and a fucking kitten. I mean, come on.
I like to think that Rebecca is riding Scaly through the rose garden, and the two possums are just on the back, just going.
Or do we know that the thing's name was Scaly, by the way, or was that just you?
That's just me. I'm just throwing it out there.
Do we know what the thing's name was?
No, it was probably called Jesus Christ, Don't Go in That Room.
Spectacular.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
What'd you learn today?
I I learned that history is exactly like fucking Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings. When you are the leader of a country back in the day when it was okay to still own people, you could just show up with wild animals and go, guess what? We're giving these to you because we very much respect you. They're going to ruin the carpets. Lord almighty. And I learned that comedy clubs are coming back, local comedy clubs, at least somehow, some way, a little bit, and people are going to see good shows, and I think that's fucking amazing. I love that.
Yep, and I've been using every platform I can to say, support your local venues. Fine, you want to support bigger venues? That's great. I get it. Those are good shows, but also make sure to support, and specifically support, your small, independently owned venues, whether it be for comedy or music or what have you, because those are really struggling right now, and they will go away if we don't do what we can to support them.
If they've been able to hold on this long.
That's as serious as I'm going to get. Here's what I learned today. You know what I learned? I learned, one, that talking about silly animals makes you giggle in a way that delights me.
Yeah.
Also, I learned that we can do topics that aren't uncomfortable for other people to listen to, and are still entertaining.
But we shouldn't fall back on them.
No. Next week we'll be back to talking about butt fucking.
Promise.
You can almost listen to this episode with your mom.
Next episode might be the postdoctoral. Oh, God.
Also, I would like to point out a big thank you to our sponsor, Paul Masson Sparkling Wine. And our other sponsor...
We don't know.
Our other sponsor, Orson Welles Cirrhosis.
Our other sponsor, Orson Welles. We got a little bit of his ashes, and we have a bit of Suncatcher. Only cost $8,000.
Orson Welles. Okay.
I would steal your line. Buddy, guess what?
What?
I love you.
I love you back.
The best part's about hanging out with these guys. God damn it, son of a bitch, motherfuck.